Good morning, guys. I am going to feed the animals, and here comes a chicken. My goodness. Hi, girl. How you doing, my little rogue chicken? You my little rogue chicken? You want me to feed you over here? No, she's too flighty, I should say. So let's get these guys some food. Oh, I gotta get some leftover scrap chicken, that bones and all, I'm gonna give to the pig. It's cooked. Leftovers from a meal. And she loves that. And usually I would save that for the garden, the bones, but I've got enough in the garden right now. Or I would boil it down for broth, but I have plenty of broth. So Mrs. Pigglesworth is only going to get 1.5 scoops. So there's her, and then feed this chicken over here. And I always treat her extra special because she is a layer that's consistent. So I just make sure that I give her some food off to the side here. And then feed my other cows. I just need to add some more food to here. Now you can feed the chicken to the chicken, but I don't do that with any of our other animals. Chickens seem to tolerate it, and they need that protein because they are meat eaters. But they do get the protein in the food that I'm giving them. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about is I said a couple times this week that we are going to move the chickens back to the chicken coop, and I was going to as soon as our meat chickens came in. Well, I just got a long, very long email from Murray McMurray yesterday. They canceled our chicken order. They don't have enough hatching eggs, and the hatching rate that they're getting from their eggs is really low, so they can't fulfill our order. So we're 30 chickens down. Hopefully they can get our next order in. Now, that's a big bummer for us. That's a big bummer for us because we already had an order for 10 birds, which we were just selling to family and friends. But that's a huge bummer when you can't fulfill those orders. Now, we're just starting out selling chickens, so it's not devastating, but can you imagine if we had to sell chickens, or we're selling chickens and that was our livelihood? My goodness. And the very fact that they did it right before or right after, we just bought $400 worth of food to feed them. Now, we're not on, That's our grocery budget. Now these guys can eat the meat bird food, and I probably won't have to buy food all year. Hopefully we'll get the second batch of 30 that we ordered and we'll be okay. But that, for anybody who's just starting out or is having trouble with this whole thing, we're losing a lot of money. That's, you know, that's a lot of money loss. So I was telling Chris, I was a little bit bummed about not getting the chickens, you know, and he goes, well, what about all the food we just bought? Well, holy cow, you know, the accountant thinks of the money. I think of the loss of fulfilling orders for people. Their reasoning was they didn't have enough hatching eggs, and their other reasoning is that the quality of eggs that they're getting right now, because they're going from all kinds of different sources to get their hatching eggs, is really poor. I've never had a problem with Murray McMurray, and I don't blame them. I'm blaming the very fact of how we're handling this crisis. We're handling it very poorly with the chicken problem. We're dispatching a whole flock instead of just the chickens, and just the sick chickens. And you don't build immunity in your flock that way. On the bright side, these chickens have a chance to get healthier by getting moved around on pasture, because this is what we use for our meat chickens. They'll get moved tomorrow again, and they're getting more bugs, and their eggs, the few eggs that we do get, are looking fantastic. Okay, let's get over to Mrs. Pigglesworth. Chris is going to come over with the tractor. I'm going to start moving the fence so that we can move her. Move this bottom. Chris is collecting water right now. Here in the middle, she hardly did any rooting too. She got the areas where there was blackberry the most. Right there. Okay, fresh clean water. And what we did is we just moved the fence in a different way to, you can see beyond the fence there, she's rooted up that whole area. And that's where blackberry was. And she really enjoys the blackberry. But we want her to root up this area too. So we just changed the fence, moved her a little bit, changed the fence, and made sure it was nice and hot. And then opened it up to her. So this area is longer too, and she's already found a new area to root and to eat. And not only is she eating roots, but she'll find bugs and things that live in the ground. A lot of larvae is in the ground, and she'll find that too with her awesome little snout there. And she ate all her lunch, and now she's snacking. So they actually get more food when they're out, and more food from the land, so you don't have to feed them as much. So she gets 4 pounds of food a day. You can see there she found a root she's eating. Let's see if I can get it closer so you can see that. Yep. She's pulling it up, eating that root. So she's loving it. She's going back in to snack on her food. This is our order of food. This is just for meat birds right here. So hopefully we get our second batch. They canceled that first batch of meat birds. And then we did order some chicken food and pig food. And it's just ridiculous. So let's see how these babies are doing. They probably need some more water and food. I just need to clean out the water. So that's how they're doing. They're about 2 and almost 3 weeks old. So layer chicks are usually get all their feathers by 6 weeks, and grower meat birds usually have all their feathers by 3 weeks. So that's the difference between the birds and how fast they grow. Now these guys are doing really good. So we'll just keep them in here for about 6 to 7 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, and then move them on. They are not dependent on the heat that much at all anymore, so they're doing really good. And I guess they'll be getting some of the meat bird crumble for themselves. So let's see what Mrs. Millie wants. Hey, Millie, what do you want, baby girl? You got plenty of food and plenty of water. You just want some of this, some of the lovin's, huh? Yeah. So what they said in the email is that they're having trouble with hatch rates and they're having trouble getting eggs. I'll show you guys a bit of that email, but Murray McMurray's always been really good to us, so it's not a complaint against Murray McMurray. It's a complaint against whatever is going on with they're doing to farmers and stuff with the eggs, with the chickens. So, very unhappy with that. So hopefully we'll get our second batch of 30 and we can still sell 10 to my sister-in-law who wanted 10 birds, but we won't have probably any birds for anybody else. So that's the way it crumbles, and we were hoping to get some of our selling some chickens this year, so I'm really bummed about that. If you watched the previous videos, you would know that I was like, oh yeah, if you guys want any chickens, just let us know, you know, that kind of thing. And now that's turned all around and I'm really frustrated. God bless. We'll see you next time here on Hedgehog's Homestead. Bye.